the bass player for Nightlight.
My name is Joe. I play guitar and do background vocals.
I'm Brandon. I do vocals.
My name is Boomer, and I'm the drummer.
Well, a few years back, Daryl, myself, and Boomer were in a local band, and after about a year, we broke up and started doing our own thing. But back in 2013, the three of us were working a drum camp at a local high school, and we decided to play a couple of open mics at a few local restaurant bars, and we got some positive feedback and started talking about getting the band back together. And so we did that for a few months, started working on material, and then we decided we would try to find more of a front man so I could focus less on singing and be more full-time on guitar. And that's when Brandon came into the picture. And then, February of 2014, we recorded our 2-song demo, Whiskey Eyes, and it's been about a year as a full band.
And I know I've been going out of my mind with this sign. Can't keep these hollow eyes off you. My heart will only show a place you'll never go. I know I've been going out of my mind with this sign. Can't keep these hollow eyes off you. My heart will only show a place you'll never go.
But we get asked a lot what we sound like and who we sound like, and it's kind of hard for us to come up with a definitive answer because I think individually we all pull from such different personal influences.
I think some of my biggest influences would be Foo Fighters, definitely. I like the power behind what they play. I love the big sections of their music, and I try to put that into what we do, into the big parts of our music.
For me, it's definitely a lot of pop radio, more on the pop rock side. Definitely stuff like Maroon 5, the new band Walk the Moon. They're not necessarily new, but not many people know about them. All the way going from, I draw a lot from R&B, stuff like The Weeknd, all the way back to Boyz II Men. I think that's my dad's influence growing up there.
For me, writing-wise, I've always been a huge fan of Modest Mouse, but I think when I sit down and write, my style comes a lot from Incubus, where it's kind of the spacey, down, not super guitar involved verses, but then a little more power and rhythmic in the choruses to kind of move it a little more. I've always kind of mirrored that in how I approach writing songs.
So I identify mostly as a jazz bassist. I did a lot of that in college, so a lot of my lines come from having to improv and being combos and whatnot, that style of music. When I was just starting bass, I listened to all kinds of stuff. I listened to a lot of Victor Wooten, a ton of them, and I got to know other bassists like Pino Palladino and those kinds of guys. I would listen to all kinds of different music, anything from D'Angelo to Stevie Ray Vaughan, you name it, I listened to it, just trying to take in as much as I could, and it kind of bleeds into everything I do now, or at least I like to think so.
Collectively as a band, at least some of our earlier stuff, we pulled a lot from bands like Minus the Bear, Two Door Cinema Club, and Kings of Leon. I think our newer stuff is starting to sound a little more like old Maroon 5 and some Franz Ferdinand a little bit here and there. So
I think one of the coolest things about our music is that there's 3 drummers in the band. There's 3 drummers, and we write a lot of stuff that's more rhythmic than most other bands. And I think that pulls from the fact that there are 3 drummers in the band, as well as 3 bass players in the band. So a lot of that, a lot of our music depends on drum and bass, and I think it adds to our sound.
It works out really well, yeah. I think, because we, the 3 of us, Boomer, Joe, and myself, we all march in a drum line together at Tyler Junior College. And so we have that ability to really lock things in. And of course we have our classical percussion influences as well. But what makes this work so well is that Brandon is really into the pop stuff. He knows what the crowd's like and what, the average person, what draws their ear to their music. So we combine the 2 things and we get a product that kind of appeals to a very wide audience.
So far, at least.
I am your quintessential radio listener, so yeah,
we are.
that's what I'm here for.
I'm gonna come down, baby. I'm losing my sight. I'm sick of this girl around, lady. I keep this up and I'll lose my mind.
Yeah, we're actually in the process of recording our first debut EP. We do have that demo, Whiskey Eyes demo out, but we were wanting to put a few more songs together for you guys. That way we can show you what we're all about, the new direction we're heading in. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Here in 2015, we will be releasing that, our first debut EP, untitled for now. Yeah, you can actually find us online at facebook.com. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find our music at Reverb Nation, as well as on our Bandcamp if you wanted to download it.
But thanks for checking out the video, guys. You can find show dates at the websites and be on the lookout for our upcoming EP. Cheers.